joining HMS again in another class. We have Mr. Martin Luther King with Mr. Damani Freeman as President Lyndon B. Johnson.
Okay, I'm Martin Luther King. I'm here with President Freeman. One of the most famous moments of our interaction was regarding the Civil Rights Act in 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 that emphasized the needs for compressive federal action to secure the equal rights for African American, especially voting rights, which are being obstructed in the South. I directly urge Johnson to take decisive action on these matters. One no-table conversation occurred after the Selma to Montgomery marches in 1965, where King called on Johnson to support the Voting Rights Act to end voter suppression.
Oh, I agree. Civil Rights Act. We are working on Voting Rights Act, and I will support in the struggle.
Yes.
On December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks boarded a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. Instead of going to the back of the bus, which was designed for African Americans, she sat in front when the bus started to fill up with white passengers. The bus driver asked Rosa Parks to move. She refused. Her resistance set in motion one of the largest social movements in history, the Montgomery bus. Yeah.
Yes.
In history as the greatest demonstrations of freedom in the history of our nation. Five score years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came.
Americans of all regions and of all color from every section of the country to join me in that cause. At times, history and fate meets a single time in a single place to shape a turning point in man's enduring search for freedom. So it was at Lexington and Concord. So it was a century ago at Talks. So it was last week in Selma, Alabama.
I have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia's sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at a table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of...
Catherine Goebel was a very important woman to NASA. She helped do some of the most important math there. And today I'm going to tell you a quote she said. She said, "There are no colored bathrooms in this building, or any building outside the West Campus, which is half a mile away. Did you know that? I have to walk to Timbuktu just to relieve myself. And I can't use one of the handy bikes. Picture that, Mr. Harrison. My uniform, skirt below my knees, my heels, and a simple pearl strings. I don't own pearls. Lord knows you don't pay colors enough to afford pearls. And I work like a dog, day and night, living off a coffee pot. None of you want to touch. So excuse me if I have to go to the restroom a few times a day." Now, Dorothy Vaughan. She needed a book to read the computer, and she had to steal it from the white section. And she was with her two boys, and she told them, "Separate is not equal. If you act right, you are right. And now Mary Jackson. Mary Jackson said that I plan on being an engineer at NASA, but I can't do that without taking them classes at all white high schools. And I can't change the color of my skin, so I have no choice to be the first. And that's what she said to the judge.